Is it Seth?
Yes, it is.
How's it going?
Mr. Restricted phone number.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing.
How's your day going so far?
It's been a busy day. It's Holy Saturday, so a lot of time spent at church, a lot of phone calls, people calling, wanting to know where to go search, a lot of communication between me and my searchers,
Wow.
trying to keep Sebastian's army going.
And I just want to tell you, my heart's with you. We've been praying. I try to say a prayer every stream, and I seen this interview last night with you and Pascal, and I was just, I don't know, man. It hit me emotionally because you said some things in there just that got to me at the end, and you talk about these things with God, and I feel like I just came closer with God these last 2 years of my life, and I just that got to me when you were talking about that specific aspect of it. And I'm here, my platform's here for you, for Sebastian Rogers, your baby boy that you're searching for every day. I did share the GoFundMe. I have it pinned up top, ladies and gentlemen, for everybody in chat. Make sure that you can go and show this man any love. I don't care if it's $1, a penny, it doesn't matter. It's pinned up top, the GoFundMe for Seth Rogers. He is out here diligently working every hour that he possibly can to search for his son. And have you learned of any new possible sightings at all?
Not yesterday and today, but I got my private investigators working on it.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out here that with Katie, have you been in contact with Katie at all? As far as, because I love the way that you said it would be, great if one person's here, we'd split up, you'd figure searching and covering all these different areas, you'd be able to do that. Is that even going on with you, Katie and Chris? Or you guys meeting and or talking at least about where you're searching so you don't cross each other's paths and search the same place twice?
No, the last time I spoke to him was Thursday after I made it back to Clarksville. He wanted me to drive back to Nashville to do a interview on TV with him, Katie, and me. And I thought he might think about it. I just never reached back out to him.
Interesting. Is that because of and I want to ask you this, is it because of what you heard on that Smiley channel, the interview?
Because it still stings, man. That's my flesh and blood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree. And it must have been, and another thing that touched me from this interview, you said specifically, is that you had to find out through the internet.
Through the podcast. Nobody should get information like that through the podcast.
No way. I agree with you on that. And that's another part of this interview that got to me. And I know we're not even close to that part, but you specifically said in this interview that you had to find out through that damn podcast that your son had some running with him and he was hitting him with the belt, etc. And I hate to even bring that up. But I can't say I blame you for not wanting to.
If they want to search, that's fine. But as for an interview with all three of us, I think that's a little too late right now.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I do interviews to keep my son's name out there, his picture out there. When I listen to their podcast, they don't talk about Sebastian like I do.
I agree.
That affects me a type of way.
Yes,
and it definitely puts us not on the same page. And I hate to say that because I know at some point in time, TBI will hear this, law enforcement will hear this, and Chris and Katie and the Proudfoot Guy Bauer Sox family will hear this, but
We're with you, Seth. I hate to say it, but we're with you, and a lot of people feel, the same feelings here towards this whole entire situation. I mean, have you? Is there? I got to ask you this about this restaurant. Was there anybody else in this footage that law enforcement may have not questioned that you're suspicious about? That may, and you don't have to touch up on that if you don't want to, but and
what
again,
they showed me is what I asked, which was I just needed proof of life because I talked to my son on Thursday. I needed proof of life on Wednesday, on Sunday, and they showed me a clip of him coming out of the restaurant, getting into her vehicle, you know, and just I gotta see my son again. Freaking
it's okay, Seth. If you need to take a minute, we understand. And we don't have to do this interview right now. I could wait till you're more mentally prepared. I don't want to, cause any more stress on you. And I know you're
I
doing
will
this for
tell you,
Sebastian.
as a parent, as a father, you are never mentally prepared to go through this ever.
This emotion is heavy. Did you find it odd that
My
there was no alarm
apologies.
system there at all?
I don't have an alarm system on my house
Right.
where I live, but then again, my son wakes up to go use the bathroom, and when he wakes up, he doesn't turn on the light. But I'll sit there and scare the shit out of him most of the time. You're like, what are you doing? Just I asked, what are you doing? I'm going to the bathroom, Dad. Well,
Mm,
make sure you flush and wash your hands. You know, any type of noise in my house wakes me up.
mm. I get it. I get it. I mean, there's questions, man. No questions about, did Sebastian did his mom, Katie, express any feelings about losing custody at all? Was that a thing that you got custody? Because I heard what you said. You said you were getting him this summer. Was he staying with
He
you
was
for
supposed to
just the
come.
summer?
He was supposed to come live with me for the summer, and I've got him enrolled in school up here where I live.
Yes, sir.
What we're doing is I'm not getting full custody. We're just switching custodials.
Okay.
So where I was getting him every weekend, now she would be getting him every other weekend, and he would be staying with me. So we're just doing a switch.
Was there combativeness to that switch at all, or was it smoothly done? Would you say on your end?
I was open for it. As soon as Chris brought it up to me, I was like, okay, let me get him enrolled in school.
Yeah, that's just some questions.
I wanted my son to live with me. I've always wanted my son to live with me.
Yeah. Yeah, what did you like as far as the video that you seen? I don't know if you can say or not, but what did you exactly see on the video that you seen with TVI? And you said Katie was there too. What did you see there?
Where she and Sebastian walked out of Roadhouse and got into the vehicle, and that was what they showed me.
I got you. And did he look happy at all, or in distress? He
They
wasn't in
didn't get her.
distress, was he?
He's always happy when he's with me. So he didn't look like his joyous self that he is with me.
Oh, man.
But he's different out there, and I know why now. So no, he wasn't the normal. He wasn't my normal kid.
Mm-mm-mm.
You know, they may have had a good day, good weekend from their point of view. But it's like when he goes and gets in my truck when we're leaving dinner, you know, He runs to my truck. On this one, he just kind of walks.
Light up the chat with them green. Yeah, light up the chat with his favorite color, guys. Light it up with them green hearts. For sure, light it up. And we need to keep this word out here about Sebastian. Again, we're talking to Seth Rogers here on the line, and I appreciate him even reaching out in a time like this, especially with Easter. The first thing I did today, Seth, you want to hear what I did? I woke up out of bed. The first thing I Googled was Sebastian Rogers, hoping to see that he was found. This was at around 6 o'clock my time. Seen nothing was updated, came straight in here, went online. We're in this fight with you. We're in this fight with you. And I'm going to cover this until he's found. I don't care what that time is.
Until he's found.
So you always have a platform here.
My life is not complete until I find my son.
I heard you say that on Pascal's last night, and I just looking at you, I connected with you emotionally on what you were saying. And the fact that you were smiling, I seen people saying in my chat, why is he smiling? He just seen his boy alive on video. That gave him hope for everything that he's been doing this last 30 plus days, that he has hope to find his boy. And that's why he was smiling the way he was.
He's alive. He's alive. And I mean, it's not a current video, but it's like I smile or I cry whenever I watch any of the videos I have of him. I've got videos of him when he was 6 years old opening Christmas gifts or birthday gifts, and it's just like I've had so many news medias want to share more pictures, share more videos. I can't. If I never found my son, these are all I have left of him. These are mine. I understand people want to see them. Like, they're mine, and I don't want to share them.
Seth, get it to me, man. Feel that pain, man. I feel that pain. And I hate to ask you this type of question, but I'm only asking it because I want answers. And I hate to friggin' ask this, but when you went to search with Chris, did you notice anything on his arms? Any marking, allegedly?
I didn't because I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking at him. I had my flashlight out, dude.
Yes, sir.
Out the window, looking to see if there was locks on sheds or, in between houses while we drove. I wasn't paying attention to him.
Yeah, I understand that for sure.
I still don't pay attention to him. I'm still out here looking for my son.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Did he have his glasses? And what was his sight range without them? Nearsighted or farsighted? I mean, I think that's important here, especially if he got out on foot.
Yeah, he's got vision like his daddy. I wear glasses or else I can't see anything. I have nearsighted. I can only see near. I need my glasses to see far.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
If people want to help, I appreciate the Cash App, the GoFundMe, and all that sort of stuff. But if you could just search, no money in the world means anything to me as much as finding my son.
I got that GoFundMe posted, but you heard what he just said. Searching means a lot more. Searching it. So, and if you're in that area, let me know if this is right. Set the Rudder 126 River Road, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075 that's the address.
Yep, we'll be meeting there Monday.
Monday, that address starts as the headquarters?
That's where we're all meeting in the parking lot. The Rudder said that we could meet there.
Yes, sir.
I have nobody searching tomorrow. I need people to actually enjoy the family that you have, because you never know when it's going to be taken away. You're never going to know if you're going to wake up the next day and not ever get to see him again.
Oh,
So that's what Easter is about.
yes, sir.
It's about giving thanks
I just shared that.
and enjoying family.
That's what it. You're right. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Do you know if they are cooperating with law enforcement still when it comes to your son?
From my understanding, they are.
So they haven't lawyered up or anything like that?
Not that I know of.
Yes, sir.
But again, everybody is innocent until proven guilty.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-mm-mm. Who was eating at the restaurant the night of his disappearance?
Well, on the video, it just shows Katie and Sebastian. They're the ones that came out of the door. You know, it wasn't like they were showing me this for investigative purposes. They showed me this because I requested it in the first week of this.
So this was something that you've been requesting and wanting to see for the longest time now. It felt like a long time because one day is a long time right now. Did CPS discuss with you everything relating to Chris's alleged reprimanding of children and his issue with his ex-wife Nina? I mean, I've been seeing this stuff coming out.
No,
Mm-mm.
and it's like CPS met with us when Sebastian went missing, and they never brought this up. And from my understanding, it's because it's sealed.
Yeah. Mm.
Sorry, I had to blow my nose.
No, you're fine. Take your time. You take your time, Seth. You take your time, man. That's just quite. There's a lot of questions here that I have that are just on my heart. Like, has police confirmed if there's CCTV of Chris in Memphis at the same time his phone was there to you, or is that just investigative? And also, what are your thoughts as a trained law enforcement? No scent.
What do
What
you
the
mean?
no scent? Right, leaving the house, except a small hit from law enforcement dogs, which they lost. I mean, this is it's. I'm confused as someone who's looking at this and seeing all these different things, but there's no suspect, or you know what I mean? Like this is a long time for your boy to be gone, and it just worries me. It worries me.
It worries me every day, but I have to have faith in the system. I work in this system,
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm trying to have faith in this system.
Absolutely. And I was just wondering what your thoughts were on that scent being called nothing. I mean, when you hear something like that, that's hope for you, and then that just goes away. I was wondering what the heck that was. How did they lose that scent? Mm-mm-mm. Has it been confirmed exactly? Because I heard you touch up on it in the Pascal
I mean, I
interview.
was told one thing on this. I see. I was told by a person with the dog that they hit on a scent, but then later on, I was told that it wasn't what they thought it was. So
Interesting.
they're telling me it's information that was false, and I have to go with what they're telling me.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't say there's not much you
You
can
know,
put to that. I'm wondering why they searched that landfill. Like Nancy Grace said, what I wonder what the affidavit says about the landfill. Have you got a clear answer on that from law enforcement at all?
no, it's still an active investigation.
Yeah, close to the vest.
So I'm not going to get any information for this stuff. The only way I'll get any of this information is we find Sebastian. That's it.
I think people are going. That's a little bit wild. Seth Sebastian been put in protective custody. Seth would know about that. He would have been contacted. I feel like.
he was in protective custody,
Absolutely.
I would think so.
Does Sebastian have any allergies or foods or allergies to foods or any medications at all that people should know about if he's out there?
I don't think he has any allergies to food. I know he is allergic to grass. That's about all I can think of for his allergies.
So for grass, I
I
got you.
mean, when he was growing up, boy wouldn't eat meat. He didn't like meat at all. No chicken, no steak. His favorite sandwich is peanut butter and jelly, still is. You know, his favorite pizza is just straight up cheese pizza.
Was Seth on cam at work when he went missing? You mean Chris or Seth? Somebody said was Seth on at work or on cam at work when he went missing?
Yeah, I was on 6 of them because I was actually in jail working.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here's another
Not to
one.
mention, besides that, I have 65 inmates that can tell you where I was at too.
That must that's a hard job for you to deal with. But what that is? What do you know? What do you did they show you the timestamp on that video from
Which video?
the video from your son at the restaurant? Did they show you the timestamp exactly like the
I
time, the
didn't see
date?
a timestamp.
Interesting. Interesting. Did they even tell you what time? Did they say, "Hey, Seth, he was found at we seen him here at this time"?
One second. You
Yeah,
there?
it's wild.
My Bluetooth died. Sorry about that.
No, you're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine. I was just curious about that. If they said, "Hey, Seth, this is the time we seen him leaving at this restaurant," or it showed the timestamp on the video, because I feel like that part would be important too.
You know, it probably would have been, but
Happy to see him.
I was just happy to see my son,
Mm-mm-mm.
and I kick myself in the ass now every day because there's other things that I want to look at it again. I want to watch it again.
And that's the only thing you can think about. I do have to ask you this one. Can you share with us some memories or moments that stand out to you about your son? Because I feel hard to get that when I'm listening to the other side. It's like I'm hearing these bad things and he lies and he's this and he's that. You know, since I have you and you have so much great to say, and I love the way that you put these things. Again, I just want you to share maybe some memories or moments that stand out to you about him.
Where do I start? When he was an infant, child would sleep 4 hours a day. That was about it. He was normally awake for 18 to 20 hours a day. Always going, you know, started crawling everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And he would just laugh. As an infant, he would just laugh. I mean, he would just sit there and have laughing fits for like 15, 20 minutes.
Mhm.
It was great. You know, I always loved his laugh. You
Mm-mm-mm.
know, sit there and there's times that he would sit there, he'd be crawling across the floor, and it's just like he would literally just pass out where he's at. Like he's finally so tired that he just goes to sleep, and then sit there and make him a little pallet on the floor, put him on there so he's all nice and comfortable. And then I lay down next to him and I try to get some sleep.
Mm.
You know, I remember a time that he was young. He was changing a diaper. Katie was very, and I walked into the room and he literally shot shit out of his ass. Tried to hit me with it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, you're fine.
I mean, these are memories that I remember clear from 14 so years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember the first time that woke up and I heard him in his crib, and I'm like, okay, he's awake. Let's go ahead and make him a bottle and get it ready. And I walked into the living room and smelled at me, and I was like, oh no, this ain't good. Start walking down the hallway to get to his room, and I swing into the bathroom and turn on the shower because I know that he had dug into his diaper and started painting the wall. It was messy.
And I appreciate you sharing those moments with us. And those things are important to me. Those cherishing little moments. I feel like those questions, I haven't heard it. I haven't heard it. Now, I do want to ask you this, and I know I can already tell, but I just want to shoot it. It's how has your son's disappearance impacted you and your family emotionally and psychologically, sir? I, I want people to understand this.
My life has been on hold. I try to tell people there's really no going to sleep. If I sleep, I have nightmares. I wake up thinking I hear Sebastian in my house. I've had I've woken up in my sleep and Sebastian is standing next to my bed, and he's wearing a white T-shirt and his jammy pants, and it's like it's not even him at the age of 15. It's him at the age of like 9 or 8, and he's just like, Dad, I'm hungry. Can we have breakfast? And I'm like, I wake up and he's not here. And it's like, and I look over and I've only been asleep for like 20 minutes. And it's like, well, fuck it. Get up, wash my face, put on clothes, and decide where I'm going to go search today.
I appreciate you sharing that because I think it's important that people can understand what you're going through with just waking up every day and
Mm-hmm.
having to toughen up to go to these places and actually search for your son and what it can do to you emotionally and psychologically. I appreciate you touching up on that. Now, I do want to ask you this. Can you describe the events leading up to your son's disappearance and how you first realized he was missing? Did you get a phone call? When did it happen? When did the shock come to you? When, you know, I'm just curious about that and when how you first heard it.
I don't know when the shock came, to be honest.
Mm.
There's not a defining point. I got off of work at 7 o'clock,
Yes, sir.
left, went to my truck. You know, to me it was just a normal day. So I'm talking to my coworkers, and I'm like, you know, Monday morning, we're off for the next 2 days. So it was like, you know, it was just normal conversation with people, normal day. Go home, get some sleep. You know, try to rest up, see everybody on Wednesday, and I went and got in my truck. And I grabbed my phone, and I see I have a missed phone call and a text message, no voicemail. So I turned around and text message 911. So I call, and that's what I find out from Chris.
So
And my son's missing.
so you first found out from Chris. Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. That's a shitty way to find out. Then you find out all this other stuff on the internet the wrong way. Now, people know this, but in general, there is new people that haven't heard of this case whatsoever. So I do like to ask stuff like this because some people don't understand, you know, what is going on right now. They may be new to this case or listening, just tuned in today. What steps have you taken so far to try to find your son, and what has been the response from the community? And I already know, obviously, I know that answer because I've been watching and I've been seeing and spreading the word about this case ever since right after the Madeline Soto case. But what steps, again, have you taken so far to try to find your son, and what has been the response from the community?
Today we had people actually come in all the way from Ohio. I want to thank those people for coming in all the way from Ohio. I mean, that's a pretty long trek to come in just to help for a day. They didn't have to. I appreciate it. We gave them a whole bunch of flyers and asked them to spread them on the way. You know,
That's so awesome of people, man.
there is still good in this world.
There is.
The difference is that there's still a lot of evil
There is
and
that.
there's a lot of indifference. There are people who do not care.
Agreed. 100%.
Which means the people that are wanting to do good, we have to do better because that's what we're fighting in this world.
We are fighting evil every single day. Now, this may be hard question. It may be easy for you, but I know it's going to be hard, obviously. How have you been coping with the uncertainty and not knowing what happened to Sebastian? Like, I don't, I don't even understand how you could be coping right now, or even holding the phone. Better yet, speaking.
I'm his voice. For me to give up or for me to quit is to give up on faith. Faith that my son is out there somewhere. I taught my son how to be a survivor, and I'm hoping right now that he's doing it. But I can't give up. I have to find him.
Absolutely. I don't know if you want to share. Do you have a personal theory about what you think happened?
I don't. I don't because there's no evidence that I've been given, and like I said, everybody's innocent until proven guilty, and I need definite proof to blame somebody for something.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. You got to have something. You can't. That's what I was telling people earlier. I seen people saying lock this person up or lock that person up, and you got to have evidence and probable cause for that. You can't just go and put somebody in cuffs because they've spanked someone or did something bad. They have to have probable cause and proof of that to go and you know arrest someone. But I get what people are saying. I understand where everyone is coming from here. But I got to ask you this question, and this question also to follow up with what I just asked you. How is the support from friends, family been? Has it helped you navigate through this ordeal?
My friends and my family have come together a lot. They're calling me every day. They're there when I call them. They give me ideas. They help me sit there and figure out where we can go to search.
Mm, that's great. I'm glad that because I've seen it too. I've seen a bunch of your friends and people pulling up and helping you at these different spots that you are searching, and I think it's awesome. The community, the support, the people that are flying in or driving in. I think this is how we need to continue to be, to not only reach out and help whoever we are. It doesn't even matter where you're at. You could be in California right now. Sharing this story out here helps Seth, Sebastian, and the rest of the family in any way that you could possibly think. So everything counts. If you're close, help search. If you are close or you can make it there somehow, help search. It's the Rudder, 126 River Road, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075. You can go there starting Monday. Chris, Seth, what time is it on Monday?
9:30.
9:30 on Monday. You can go and help search at, again, 126 River Road, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075. That place. Hold on, can you share any messages or appeals to the public regarding your son's disappearance?
I need people to keep their heads up, their eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
On your way to work, on your way to get coffee in the morning, fill up your gas tank. Just keep your heads up and your eyes open.
I got you. Now, again, I'm going to ask this too, because there's new people arriving in this chat right now. How can people best support you and your family during this time, both emotionally and in the search for your son?
I ask people to hand out flyers. Hand out flyers.
Okay. Hand out flyers. You heard the man. Hand out flyers, share, spread the word, wherever. Hand out flyers. Has there been any promising leads at all or developments in the search for your son that you can share with us?
No. They're not sharing anything with me. They won't. I'm not part of the investigation. So, the only thing they've asked me to do is keep sharing flyers.
Gotcha. Memphis, that was a good question. Let's see but we asked that one. What are your thoughts as a trained law enforcement? Somebody asked in chat. What is your thoughts on this case as trained law enforcement? Doorbells came.
Is the crowd puts in here?
Say again, sir?
Oh no, I'm going through chat and somebody said the crowd puts are in here.
Yeah, if you want
Which one?
if you want to respond to any questions out of the chat, feel free to respond to any questions out of the chat as they can hear you loud and clear. If Seth wants to see the video again at the restaurant, what would he look for? Has he called the FBI to help? But that's a great question, Betty Boop. Have you tried to get a hold of FBI?
I've been in touch with them on multiple occasions.
That's awesome. Are they willing to help at all?
They're not willing to let me know anything.
Damn. This is crazy.
It's an active investigation. That's just procedure, man.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
It's
But at the same point in time, they're not going to tell me anything. They don't know what I would do with that information.
Has there been any, I think this question has been asked a lot, but is there actual footage or has it been officially confirmed that Sebastian was seen taking out the trash Sunday night?
They showed me a video. Can't really see that it's Sebastian, but it kind of has the same quirks. Does it upset you, Seth, when people speak allergically? I don't know what that means.
There's going to be tons of trolls and stuff. You'll have trolls. There's real people. You hear an echo? That may be coming through Seth's side. Said I hear an echo.
Yeah, probably because I'm watching the podcast.
Yes, sir.
While I'm talking to you on another phone.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. I'm not tripping about it. Again, this too, right here, to add to the reward for Sebastian Rogers, for everybody who is just coming in. Checks must be mailed or dropped off to, it says, reward for Sebastian Rogers, James Brian Lewis, 1300 Division Street, Suite 307, Nashville, Tennessee, 37203. All donations will be held in an escrow account. If you want to add to this reward whatsoever. Do you know what it's at now? Has anybody added to it since last night, since I watched your interview on Pascal's show?
I have no idea. The last time I knew it was at 3,500. I've been promoting this on Facebook, and then of course we got those haters out there that want to say that tell people not to donate to a reward to find my son. And it's like, how can you sit there and say that? I called and spoke to this attorney myself, and he told me that he puts everything into an escrow. He gives everybody receipts. And God forbid that we don't find Sebastian, and a particular amount of time has passed, he returns everybody their money. It's not a scam.
Well,
But there are people out there that don't want me to find my son. I got news for them.
it won't
I
work.
ain't stopping.
It won't work.
And if you really don't want me to find my son, don't be a coward. Come talk to me face to face and tell me why you don't want me to find my son.
I like that you said that, because you're gonna get people. I'm gonna just point this out to you right now. There's gonna be people that call you all different types of names and different things. If you guys want to support Seth, here's another way. I got it pinned up top, the GoFundMe. This is his Cash App on the screen right now. You can support. There's plenty of ways to support Seth on his search and journey to find his son Sebastian. This again is his Cash App, shared from him himself. No one else. I will hold it across the screen, make it full screen. The GoFundMe is pinned in the top of the chat for his. And again, it's his sister made this GoFundMe. I've read it already. I seen it last night when it was shared on Pascal's show. It is for him. He's out here searching for his son. And also the threats. I do want to touch up on this too. The threats. Did you get threatened to be sued or anything like that for having your, or not having your sister, because she made it obviously to help you? And did you get threatened to be sued by Chris or a lawyer?
Chris threatened to get an attorney if I didn't, and I quote, curb your sister or I will step on her toes.
Wow.
You know, to each their own. We all have our own opinion. My
Seth, you're
sister did
searching.
that because she already knew. She already knew that I wasn't going to go back to work, that I was going to try to find my son.
That's the part that
My
bothered
sister
me.
knows me. Oh, we've had people show up at when we were at in the parking lot by the bowling alley. We had some people show up and tell people not to donate to the refund to the reward for finding my son.
Mm-hmm.
We've had people on Facebook, don't donate to this. They're all a scam. That's fine.
That's
Who you working for better be paying your bills.
shame on them.
I believe in karma. What goes around comes around. I'm Old Testament. That's what a lot of people don't. I'm Roman Catholic. I'm Old Testament believer.
That's crazy, man.
You know.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. God has found me. I'll tell you that much. He changed my life. He changed my life in many ways. And then and here I am here today with you. I hope that something comes about everything that everyone is contributing to out here, whether it be doing live streams, out there searching with Seth, even if it's somewhere else and you're out there searching or putting up flyers like Seth was talking about. It all helps. And again, I mean, I can't even wrap my mind around why somebody would say or try to control whether you're searching, because that's what it is for me. When I hear you say that, when I hear you tell me that he said that he would get a lawyer, like, because what? You're out there searching, Seth. How are you supposed to pay your bills if you're searching? You're going to lose your job, right? You'd lose your damn job, get fired. I mean, people are going to help, and there's nothing that nobody can do about it.
Hold
We're
on
here
a
to help,
minute.
buddy.
I hear you. I want to answer this one for one person in chat.
Yes, sir.
Where is it? It just spit up. No, no, I can't see it. Joe Bickers. The attorney needs to make it so we can add to the reward money through a cash app or something. Most don't do checks anymore. Well, it doesn't say, please. I tell you what, Monday I'll reach out to the attorney and I'll see what he can do. But the most of the reason that he wants checks and stuff like that is because he wants to give people receipts.
I get that too.
And short one cake, I want flyers of my son from coast to coast. I want people to be able to throw an airplane across the puddle to the UK, to Australia. I want everybody. I want everybody in the world to find my son. Find him for me.
Yeah. Why did Chris ask him? What do you mean? What did Chris ask who? Chris asked. What do you mean, Janet? I'm a little lost on that question. Why did Chris ask him? Maybe it was during a certain Seth, what can we do as the Rev Gang family? I appreciate you, Cindy. She says, what can we do as the Rev Gang family to help you?
Spread his name. Spread his picture. I mean, the more people that see him, the less it is that he can hide. You know, the less that if somebody has him, the less that they can hide him from the light. I need my son in the light so that we can get him back to me, so that my life won't be so dark anymore. Because my life has been pretty damn dark now. Took the light away from me. I will search until I find it.
Drop them greens, them green hearts in chat. Light the chat up with them green hearts. Sebastian Strong hashtag. There's a lot. There's a lot here. I appreciate you, Seth, for even coming on tonight, especially going into, you already know, Easter Sunday. And I just can't imagine. I just can't imagine.
I'm praying for an Easter miracle. Let him be found today.
I just want to say a prayer real quick while I have you on the line, okay? Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you with heavy hearts, lifting up young Sebastian Rogers' family and himself to your loving care. The uncertainty, in the midst of the uncertainty and fear, we turn to you, the source of comfort and strength. Lord, Sebastian has been missing from his home in Tennessee for too long, and our hearts ache with worry for his safety and well-being. Again, we pray for your divine intervention, guiding those involved in the search efforts with wisdom and perseverance. Surround Sebastian with your protective embrace, shielding him from harm and leading him back to the loving arms of his family. Grant solace to Sebastian's loved ones as they endure this agonizing wait. Comfort them in their moments of despair, reminding them of your unfailing love and presence in their lives. May they find strength and support of their community in the assurance of your promises. Lord, we pray for a breakthrough in the search for Sebastian Rogers, that the darkness and uncertainty may be lifted and the light of hope may shine brightly once more. Help us to trust in your timing and your plan, even when answers seem elusive. We ask you for your peace to reign in the hearts of all who are affected by Sebastian's disappearance, sustaining them through this trial and renewing their hope for his safe return. In your mercy, hear our prayers. May your guiding hand be upon Sebastian Rogers, leading him home to the arms of those who love him dearly. In the name of our son, Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
I had to get that off. I had to get that off with you on the line. I appreciate you, Seth. Is there anything else that you want anybody to know? And this, you're open anytime to come on. You have any information or just want to speak? Maybe there's something people need to know. I don't care what it is. Reach out to me and I'll be there.
I just texted you a link for the flyer from TBI.
Okay, 1 second. I'm looking right now. Okay.
People want to hand out flyers. There's that. People want to wear shirts. That was the bonfire one, like the shirt that I'm wearing.
I dropped the link in chat too to the actual link to print that out, so people can print those out. Man, respectfully, does Seth think that the custody case regarding Faith could have had something to do with Sebastian's disappearance? I don't know if Seth has seen that full interview with Nina or not.
I don't know. I have no idea. They wouldn't be able to call a minor without getting permission from both mother and father for that.
That's a fact.
I haven't seen anything. So, but then again, I didn't know about CPS. So, and I haven't watched that, interview yet.
Yeah, it is actually emotional checking and watching it. I watched it last night when it first came out, and I was like, wow. Allegedly he backhanded the daughter in the mouth, busted her lip. I'm just there's a lot of wild stuff in there, Seth. I don't even know if maybe you'll watch it on your own time, but there was a lot of disturbing things in there. It was draining to watch. I'll tell you that, to say the least. It was. Was Chris's vehicle information reviewed from restaurant until he got back from work? That's a good question. But he wouldn't know that, I don't think. If he had a fit under restraint. Man, there's a lot of those.
We also have we also have flyers for locals. They can be picked up the rudder at the same time that people are there from 9:30 to 6 p.m. daily.
So they can pick them up at, what is the actual address for that where they can pick them up?
That's the 126 River Road, Hendersonville.
The rudder, yeah. So again, the rudder, you can pick those up at 126 River Road, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075. That's the exact address that I took note from on the Pascal show last night. And again, I want to ask you this question before you end up going to bed and taking off here. About these people following you around. Man, that strikes me as odd. Why would people follow someone around while they're searching for their missing son? Shouldn't they be following or going to look up leads instead of following you around to find out where you're going to search at? That's just a big red flag to me.
It is a big red flag. I hope they don't try to impede me or threaten me.
I just don't want to see you get triggered by these people and you end up getting in some type of trouble because you react a certain way. So I feel like we got to get you.
Welcome to Tennessee.
You're welcome to Tennessee. I just want to see you get out of this. I want to see you come out this with your son in your arms and you.
And I'm going to.
That's what I want to see.
Nothing's going to stand in my way. I am law enforcement. I'm not going to do anything that's going to put me in orange.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
The righteous shall not fear the wicked.
That just gave me chills. That gave me chills. Coming through the speaker, boy, that gave me goosebumps all the way up my body.
I hope it gave whoever happens to have my son, if someone has him, I hope it gave them chills.
Please ask Seth, is it true?
God brought his only son back to life. And my golly, this dad's going to bring his son back home.
Seth, I got to ask you this. Is it true that CP, which you know who that is, called you a few months ago and said his marriage is failing and asked you to take Sebastian? Is that true, or is that a false narrative that's being put out there by people? Because that is allegedly making its rounds on these YouTube streets.
Sebastian was going to come live with me because people need to take care of themselves.
I gotcha. I got you. I'm
And who's
following.
going to take care of the child? The father.
Mm-mm-mm. Have they found who has the snake, and have they been questioned? Could he be hidden there? Why did Chris give his pet away? Interesting question, Mary.
From my understanding, Chris got rid of all the snakes because Chris is on the road all the time working, and he wasn't going to be there to take care of them. I mean, I saw all the snakes. I was over there. Snakes were beautiful. They really were. Sebastian loved his snake.
There's tons of these questions coming through, man. People got so many different questions, and I hate to just land them all on you like this. I feel like I'm just hitting you with blow after blow, and but again, like you said, you're doing this for your baby boy, and I commend you for that, because some people can't handle that. But you know what? You're showing strength and resilience in everything that you've been doing. You're actually inspiring, not only just to me, but thousands of people. So I appreciate you, with all this stuff that's going on, you are giving people inspiration and hope. And I'm included on that list of somebody that you're giving inspiration to. And I got to thank you for that, because you're standing tall and you're sticking to your guns, and you're out here daily doing whatever you could possibly do to find your baby boy. So I got to commend you for that. Got to commend you for that. It's it's tough that you're going through this. And again, I don't want to hold you for too long and keep putting you, through it over and over again. But is there anything else that you would like to say to everybody?
I think everybody. I think everybody that's helping, everybody that's looking out for him, may you be blessed, and may I be blessed in return because you find him.
Mhm. So tough. And I'm going to keep putting these across the screen. Again, if you're just coming in, we have Seth Rogers on the line. And this is where you can support his journey of him out here every single day searching for his son. If you want to support Seth Rogers, these are links. His Cash App. You can scan it off the screen. Also, if you don't want to scan it off the screen, it's right here in front of your face. Again, $ TMB FLEMING is his Cash App. You could support him there. We also have a GoFundMe that's pinned in the top chat right now. If you want to add to this reward for Sebastian Rogers, here is the legitimate picture that Seth Rogers himself sent me to add to the reward for Sebastian Rogers. Checks as of right now. Seth Rogers, you did hear him say that he was going to look in to maybe a different alternative into paying, but for now this is how we got to do it. Okay, checks must be mailed or dropped off to reward for Sebastian Rogers, James Brian Lewis, 1300 Division Street, Suite 307, Nashville, Tennessee, 37203. All donations will be held in an escrow account. Again, Seth did say he was going to look into that to see if he, somehow get it changed, because some of you have questions about adding to that reward. I get those questions. They're valid. And I appreciate you guys asking those questions. But again, if you want to support, these are the links. And another one is pinned up top for the GoFundMe. So make sure you check those out. In fact, there's the GoFundMe right here across the screen, made by his
Hey,
sister.
Kelly O, Prisoner Revenge. I'm not your typical CEO. When I go to work, I'm not there to punish people. People are there already as punishment. My job is to make sure that they're safe. I have people that get angry and mad at me all the time, but I use words. I use words to communicate with them. And there is a lot of times, like pretty much every time, if somebody gets angry with me,
Mhm.
I have I have this tendency of when it's lockdown time to pop their cell door and have them come out and talk to me at my desk. Find out why they're mad at me. Are they mad at the policy? Are they just having a bad day? I communicate with people. because that's what this world needs is more communication.
Man,
God gave us 2 ears to hear, one mouth to speak. People sometimes have to close their mouth and open up their ears. And I do that for these inmates that I'm in there watching. My job is to make sure that they're safe. My job is to try to reach them at the same point in time, communicate with them, get them to start using their brain for a functional thing and let go of the anger. Because anger gets nobody nowhere. If it is not motivational, then it is hindering people. It will hinder you.
I agree.
I get inmates that come up and apologize to me. To me, that means I did my job that day.
You're right. Mm-mm-mm.
I treat inmates like they're human beings. I treat inmates like I want them to treat me, like I want to be treated. I'm there. It's a job. My job is to enforce the rules in the pod. If they got questions, I will find them answers. If I can't, I will look for the answers for them. And the next time I see them, because I'm not in the same pod every day, I give them the answer. I carry a notebook so I can write down questions so I can get the answer for them. Because the last thing people want is to ask questions and never get an answer.
You got a big heart, brother. You got a big heart. I'm proud to call you a brother, man. You got a big heart. And that's the type that you're my type of people. This is what I preach every day. Love and light. Love and light. See something, say something. Love and light. And just to hear this is refreshing. And I appreciate that. It is refreshing to me. Such a big heart, man. And that's exactly what it is when you're in that environment. You know, some people, you got some bad COs and you got some good COs.
And it's in every profession, man.
That's a fact.
You got people that you got bad people that know how to flip a burger. You got bad people that don't know how to operate the register. You got people that don't know how to communicate with each other. And it breaks down in this world that it's all about communication. If somebody wants to just drop my son off, drop him off at a gas station that is open. Tell him to go inside and tell him who he is.
Man, you heard him. Drop him off.
Drop him off at a Waffle House. Drop him off at a Waffle House so that he can get food. I'll pay for it when I get there.
Just somewhere that you can pick him up at. Oh, Seth, I appreciate you coming up here and just saying everything that you've said and answering questions. I do got to ask you this one because I seen it and it is a good question. Was his clothes that he was wearing that night accounted for? Did you ask police that, or you just did? I know you were proud and glad that you got to see him alive on camera, and that probably maybe even thrown that out your mind. But after, again, were those clothes accounted for?
I've been asked that question before.
Yes, sir.
And I wasn't even thinking about it, man. Okay. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yes, sir.
I was just happy to see that he was alive.
Yeah, that's a great question, Dr. Latina. She says, what does Seth believe in his heart really happened to Sebastian?
He's just one of God's lost children right now.
Yes, sir. The world needs more Seth Rogers, Dr. Quinn Harley said. The world needs more dads like Seth Rogers. Give him a little clap for that. Seth, this platform is open to you any day, 7 days a week. 24/7. You got information, you need me to get it out, I need to make a video. It doesn't even have to include you in the video. Again, if you have any information that you need put out and spread to everybody, the masses, as many people as I could possibly get it to, again, you have my number. I'm going to actually text you from my personal number so you have that at hand and you can get a hold of me directly anytime you want. It doesn't matter what it is, any information that you think the people need to know. We can make a video on it right away, drop it, put the word out, talk about it, whatever may need to happen. I know you're out here boots to ground all day long, 24/7 as much as you possibly can. I know that rains and there's different things that go on. You have to catch your sleep, obviously. You have to get some food in your system, but you are out here bending and going crazy everywhere that you possibly can. I've seen you up there myself. On video going crazy on this search for your son, and the people that are backing and helping you and pulling up. I hope that this continued support goes on, and I hope that you don't have to deal with it for too much longer. Hopefully we get off the phone and you get a call, a good one.
I'm hoping. Thank you.
I am hoping so, Seth.
Everybody, y'all have a wonderful evening. May you have many blessings on Easter. If you don't celebrate Easter, may your Sunday be a beautiful day.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for coming up here and spreading the word of Sebastian Rogers. And thank you for telling us about the good things, because I'm so tired of just hearing about the bad things pertaining to Sebastian, like the belts and him missing. And I just wanted to hear some good stories. So I appreciate you coming up here and refreshing us with some good stories about him. And not only that, sharing what you do know and whatever you could possibly answer. I appreciate you coming up here and doing that tonight to keep the word out for Sebastian. Everybody, listen, full screen. Again, this is where you can support Seth Rogers right now. Cash App, he'll get it directly. He will get it right then. He'll be able to do what he needs to do. We appreciate him. Seth Rogers, thank you so much, sir. That was Seth Rogers on the line. I know I seen a lot of questions coming through, but I had some myself. We were kind of on the spot. But either way, I don't care. I was ready to shoot it. Thanks for Seth for coming up here. I'm going to message him real quick. I'm got to get all this information out.